This video did not exist in your reality until you directed your attention toward it. The very act of you watching this right now has collapsed an infinite wave of probabilities into this exact moment in space and time. We are going to explore the ultimate secret of the observer effect, the hidden nature of the quantum field, and the startling truth about where your deepest desires actually come from. I promise you, by the end of this transmission, the way you view your goals, your dreams, and your own identity will be permanently altered, and you will finally step into your true power as the ultimate creator of your reality. Tell me, have you ever felt a burning desire inside of you that made absolutely no logical sense, yet felt entirely impossible to ignore? To understand what is truly happening in your life right now, we must establish a new foundation of reality. In the mystical framework of existence, the quantum field is not just a scientific concept of subatomic particles floating in a void. It is the infinite, living matrix of pure potentiality. It is the cosmic mind, an invisible web of energy where every possible past, present, and future exists simultaneously as a wave of probability. Nothing in this field is solid until a conscious presence interacts with it. Observation is not a passive act of simply looking at the world around you. Observation is the most powerful creative force in the universe. It is an active, magnetic command that forces the limitless fluid of the quantum realm to crystallize into physical matter. You are not a human merely existing inside a universe. You are the universe itself, focusing its awareness through a human lens to experience its own creation. But what if I told you that your deepest, most burning desires were never actually yours to begin with? This is a radical concept that challenges everything you have ever been taught about personal ambition and goal setting. We are conditioned to believe that we generate our dreams from our own isolated ego, looking out at the world and deciding what we want to take from it. But the truth of the quantum realm is vastly different and infinitely more beautiful. That unyielding urge to create, to heal, to build, or to speak your truth is not a random psychological quirk. It is a specific, targeted transmission. The universe does not waste energy. If you possess a desire that refuses to leave you alone, a vision that keeps you awake at night, it is because the quantum field has selected you as the vessel for its physical manifestation. You did not choose the desire chose you. It is a mission, a set of energetic coordinates downloaded directly into your consciousness because you are the exact right combination of soul, experience, and frequency to bring it into the three-dimensional world. Your only job is to stop resisting it and start embodying the truth that you are a divine conduit. Think about the concept of a quantum download. In the realm of advanced technology, we understand how a larger network sends packets of data to an individual device. Your consciousness operates in the exact same manner, but on a cosmic scale. The quantum field holds the blueprint for the evolution of human consciousness, and it requires physical avatars to anchor those new realities onto the Earth. When you feel a sudden, unexplainable pull toward a new career, a new location, or a new way of living, you are actively receiving a data packet from the field. It is a mission, encoded with all the necessary information, inspiration, and energy required for its completion. This is why you often feel a sense of profound urgency attached to your truest desires. It is not your ego being impatient. It is the quantum field pressing against the fabric of your reality, asking you to open the door and let the new timeline unfold through your physical actions. You see, your physical brain is not necessarily the generator of your thoughts. It is much more accurate to view your brain as a highly sophisticated radio receiver. Depending on your emotional state, your beliefs, and your level of self-awareness, You are tuning into different frequencies broadcast by the infinite field. When you elevate your emotional baseline through gratitude, peace, and radical self-love, you tune your receiver to the highest possible frequencies. This is when the grand missions are downloaded to you. You suddenly receive a vision for your life that seems so massive, so beautiful, that it terrifies your logical mind. This terror is simply a sign that you have tuned into a frequency that is currently beyond your physical conditioning. The desire feels foreign because it did not originate from your past experiences. It originated from a future timeline that is calling you forward to meet it in the present moment. But here is where the human ego gets in the way of the quantum manifestation. As soon as the grand desire is downloaded into your awareness, the logical mind begins to panic. It starts scanning your past experiences, your current bank account, and your social standing to determine if this desire is realistic. And of course, it is not realistic. Reality is just the crystallized echo of your past thoughts. The ego demands to know how this mission will be accomplished, demanding a step-by-step logical plan. But the quantum field does not operate linearly. When you allow your logical mind to dissect your divine desire, you introduce the frequency of doubt. Doubt is an active observation of failure. By observing the improbability of your dream, you are actively collapsing the wave of probability back into your current, limited reality. You must realize that the how is not your responsibility. Your only responsibility is to hold the frequency of the desire. This brings us to the profound phenomenon of synchronicity. As you begin to accept that your desire is a sacred mission, the universe begins to offer you immediate feedback. Carl Jung described synchronicity as a meaningful coincidence, but esoterically, it is much more than that. Synchronicity is the visible footprint of the quantum field rearranging itself to accommodate your new state of observation. When you align with your downloaded mission, you will start noticing impossible coincidences. You will see specific numbers repeating everywhere. You will hear strangers talking about the exact concept you were just meditating on. These are not random accidents. These events are the universe winking at you. They are localized collapses of the probability wave, proving to you that your consciousness is successfully interacting with the fabric of reality. When you see a synchronicity, do not just brush it off. Acknowledge it as absolute proof of your power. Let us dive deeper into the observer effect and how it specifically applies to your downloaded mission. In quantum physics experiments, an electron exists in a state of superposition, meaning it is everywhere and nowhere all at once, until an observer measures it. The moment it is observed, it is forced to choose a specific location. Apply this to your life. The reality where your divine desire is fully manifested already exists in superposition. It is a floating wave of potential in the field. When you vividly imagine your desire fulfilled, and more importantly, when you emotionally feel the reality of it in your body, you are performing a quantum measurement. You are the observer, commanding the wave to collapse into a physical particle. Every time you return to that state of feeling the wish fulfilled, you make the physical manifestation more dense, more inevitable. You are literally pulling matter out of the invisible void through your focused attention. Have you ever experienced a sudden, intense wave of déjà vu? It is that strange, fleeting sensation where a perfectly mundane moment feels like you have lived it 1,000 times before. While science tries to explain this as a neurological glitch, the quantum perspective reveals a much more mystical truth. Déjà vu is a momentary intersection of timelines. When you are on the path of embodying your downloaded mission, you are walking a timeline that was pre-designed by your higher self. When you experience déjà vu, your physical consciousness is temporarily overlapping with your higher soul blueprint. It is a profound confirmation from the universe that you are standing exactly where you are supposed to be, doing exactly what you are supposed to be doing. It is the quantum field whispering that you are perfectly on schedule. These moments are gentle reminders that your mission is already accomplished in the spiritual realm, and you are just catching up to it. This is exactly why ignoring your true desires feels so incredibly painful. When you try to repress the mission that was downloaded for you, you create a massive energetic blockage within your physical and spiritual bodies. Society often tells you to be practical, to play it safe, and to ignore those wild dreams in favor of security. But when you do this, you are fighting against the immense current of the universe. The anxiety, the depression, and the deep sense of emptiness that so many people feel are often not clinical issues, but spiritual ones. They are the symptoms of a soul that is actively refusing its cosmic assignment. The energy of the downloaded desire does not just vanish when you ignore it. It stagnates, it turns inward. To heal this pain, you must stop running from your own brilliance. You must turn around, face the monumental task you were born to do, and finally say yes to the field. The moment you say yes, the heavy burden will transform into boundless energy. So how do you actually lock onto this quantum mission and ensure it manifests in the physical world? The secret lies entirely within your emotional frequency. Thoughts are electric, but emotions are magnetic. Your thoughts send the signal out into the quantum field, declaring what it is you want. But it is your emotion that acts as the magnetic force, drawing the corresponding physical event back to you. If you think about your divine mission but feel fear, lack, or unworthiness, your magnetic pull is completely distorted. The universe responds to who you are being, not just what you are saying. To materialize your downloaded desire, you must cultivate the exact emotional signature you would have if the mission were already a massive success. You must feel the relief, the joy, and the profound gratitude right now in your current environment. This emotional elevation is the ultimate quantum hack. It bridges the gap between the invisible wave and the physical particle. Pay very close attention to the seemingly random encounters in your life once you have accepted your mission. The quantum field is infinitely intelligent, and it uses other human beings as the primary delivery system for its miracles. Once your frequency shifts to match your desire, you will start meeting people who hold the exact keys you need to unlock the next door. A casual conversation in a coffee shop might give you the million-dollar idea. A wrong number might lead to a lifelong partnership. These individuals were physically drawn into your reality by your magnetic field. They are answering the call of your observer effect, just as you are answering theirs. There are no spare parts in the universe, and there are no accidental meetings. Treat every person who crosses your path with a deep sense of curiosity and reverence, for you never know which one is the disguised angel carrying the next piece of your quantum puzzle. Deep within you, there is a subconscious blueprint that already knows exactly how to achieve this impossible mission. You often feel a sense of imposter syndrome when you look at your grand desires. You think to yourself, who am I to write this book, to build this empire, to heal these people? But the very fact that you can conceive of the desire means the capability already exists within your dormant DNA. The field would not give you the download without also providing the necessary software to run it. When you feel that you simply know something without having studied it, you are accessing this cosmic blueprint. It is a form of direct knowing, bypassing the logical brain entirely. Trust these sudden intuitive hits. Trust the urges that compel you to take a specific action, even if it makes no sense on paper. The rational mind is limited by the past, but your intuition is tethered to the infinite intelligence of the quantum void. The greatest secret to manifesting this downloaded mission is the art of radical surrender. Surrender is often misunderstood as giving up or being passive. In the quantum realm, surrender is the most powerful action you can take. It means you are relinquishing your desperate grip on the how and the when. When you obsess over the details of how your desire will come to pass, you are telling the universe that you do not trust its infinite capabilities. You are trying to force the ocean through a garden hose. True surrender is declaring your mission, holding the frequency of the wish fulfilled, and then stepping back to let the field orchestrate the events. It is a profound trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor. When you let go of the rigid timelines and the desperate need to control every variable, you clear the energetic pathways. The quantum field operates with effortless grace, and your surrender is the invitation for that grace to enter your life. Remember that your physical reality is nothing more than a mirror. It is a dense, three-dimensional reflection of your most dominant state of observation. If you look at your current life and see lack, limitation, and struggle, it is simply because your consciousness has been habitually focused on those frequencies. The mirror itself is entirely neutral. It does not judge you, and it cannot change its reflection on its own. If you want a different reflection, you cannot reach into the mirror and manipulate the glass. You must change the subject standing in front of the mirror. This is the hardest lesson of the quantum awakening. You must take absolute, total responsibility for every single thing in your reality. Even the painful experiences were drawn to you by a subconscious belief. But the moment you accept this responsibility, you immediately reclaim all of your creative power. If your observation created the limitation, your new observation can create absolute miracles. Have you ever had a sudden epiphany while doing something completely mundane, like taking a shower or driving on the highway? These flashes of absolute clarity are quantum data packets unpacking themselves in your consciousness. When your conscious mind is distracted by a simple physical task, your analytical guard drops. The resistance of the ego is temporarily bypassed, creating a clear channel to the higher mind. This is when the quantum field drops the most brilliant solutions right into your lap. If you are struggling to figure out the next step of your mission, stop trying so hard to solve it with your logic. Step away from the desk, go for a walk in nature, engage in a mindless activity. Give your consciousness the space it needs to receive the transmission. The answer is already waiting for you in the unified field, hovering just above your awareness, waiting for you to quiet the noise long enough to hear its profound whisper. To truly grasp the magnitude of your downloaded desire, we must completely reconsider our perception of time. We perceive time as a straight line, moving from the past, through the present, and into the future. But in the quantum field, time does not exist in this way. All moments are happening simultaneously in the eternal now. From an esoteric perspective, your grand desire is not something you are hoping to achieve in the future. It is a memory from a future timeline that already exists. The most evolved, successful, and radiant version of yourself is standing in the future, sending a signal backward through the fabric of time to where you are right now. The desire you feel is literally your future self calling you home. They are asking you to make the choices today that will align your current trajectory with their manifested reality. When you act on your inspiration, you are quite literally shaking hands with the future version of you. Embodying the frequency of your mission is your primary moment-to-moment task. Embodying means that you do not just think about your new reality for 10 minutes a day during meditation, only to spend the remaining 23 hours stressing over your current circumstances. Embodying means you wear the identity of the person who has already achieved the mission. How does that version of you walk? How do they speak? What boundaries do they set? What foods do they eat? You must begin to behave as that person right now, in the present moment, even if your bank account and your surroundings have not caught up yet. This creates a massive cognitive dissonance in the universe. The field hates an imbalance. When your internal state completely shifts to the new identity, the physical world has absolutely no choice but to warp and bend to match that new internal reality. Your physical actions must validate your quantum beliefs. Detachment is the ultimate catalyst in quantum manifestation. There is a very fine line between holding a strong intention and being desperate for an outcome. Desperation screams to the universe that you do not have the thing you want. And because the universe reflects your dominant state, it will give you more experiences of not having it. Detachment means you are so deeply rooted in the knowing that your mission is already accomplished in the quantum field, that you no longer need the physical world to validate it. You become completely at peace in the present moment. You can enjoy the journey of creation because the anxiety of the destination has evaporated. When you reach this level of profound detachment, manifestations tend to drop into your life with terrifying speed. Because you no longer need them to be happy, the resistance falls to zero, the wave collapses instantly, and the miracle simply appears on your doorstep. You must learn to look past the illusions of the three-dimensional world. Your physical senses are designed to perceive a very narrow band of reality. They tell you that objects are solid, that distance is real, and that separation is a fundamental truth. But quantum mechanics has proven that physical matter is 99% empty space, vibrating with energy. When circumstances look bad, when obstacles appear on your path, you must not let your physical senses dictate your emotional state. The master of reality looks at a closed door and sees an illusion. They know that behind the scenes, the quantum field is simply reorganizing the furniture of their life to bring them something better. When you react emotionally to a negative circumstance, you anchor it into your reality. When you observe a negative circumstance with a neutral mind, knowing it is just a temporary shadow, it quickly dissolves, making way for the true manifestation of your desire. Your downloaded mission is never just about you as an isolated individual. The quantum field operates on the principle of entanglement. Every particle in the universe is intimately connected to every other particle. When your consciousness expands and you successfully manifest your divine desire, you literally raise the vibrational frequency of the entire human collective. By stepping into your power, you are carving new neural pathways in the collective mind, making it easier for the next person to awaken. Your wealth, your healing, your beautiful art, and your thriving relationships are not selfish pursuits. They are necessary contributions to the evolution of the planet. The universe wants you to be wildly successful because your success becomes a beacon of light in a world that so desperately needs it. You are a crucial node in the cosmic network, and your personal victory is a victory for the entire unified field. You are standing at the threshold of a massive paradigm shift. The old world of force, struggle, and fierce competition is crumbling, making way for the new paradigm of flow, alignment, and quantum manifestation. The fact that you have stayed until this exact moment in the transmission means your consciousness is fully primed for the upgrade. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are the architect of the cosmos, armed with the ultimate power of the observer effect. The desire in your heart is the universe knocking on your door, handing you the blueprint for a reality more beautiful than your ego could ever invent. Stop analyzing the mission and start embodying the frequency. Trust the synchronicities, honor your intuition, and let the infinite intelligence of the quantum field guide your every step. You have always been the creator. Now, it is simply time for you to consciously take the wheel and drive. The ultimate realization is this: you are not simply in reality, you are reality itself, observing its own infinite reflection. Your desires are the universe experiencing the thrill of its own expansion through your physical form. You are the observer, the field, and the manifestation, all rolled into one magnificent consciousness. I want to thank you for allowing this transmission into your reality today. If this message resonated with your soul, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like to energetically support this work. I want you to anchor this new truth into the physical world right now by writing a specific phrase in the comments below. Write in the comments, "I am the observer, and my divine mission is manifesting now." By typing these words, you are collapsing the wave and signaling to the universe that you accept your power. Tell me, what beautiful synchronicities and signs have you been noticing in your life recently? Share your experiences and let us elevate the collective together.